Hi all, in this video we are going to see how to retrieve the values from the HTML elements and display that output inside the browser window using the JavaScript. And the environment I am using is the VS Code. And here I have basically 4 HTML controls, that is a text box, radio button, checkbox and drop down. And by using the button click, I am going to write a JavaScript function. Using that, I am going to retrieve the values from the text box, radio button, checkbox and from the drop down, and the values will be displayed in the result area which is given by the division tag. So to start with, we have to define the function show. So I have included a script tag in the head and I am going to define a function show. So first I am going to retrieve the value from the text box. So I know the ID value of the text box. So using that I am going to retrieve its value. So document dot get element by ID. The text box I am going to get the value. So this need to be added inside my division tag using the inner HTML. So document dot get element by ID, the division tag dot inner HTML and concatenated with the new value, the name, whatever I am going to enter. And I want to add a break after that. So you can add your HTML tags also inside your inner HTML. So this is the way how your output will be look like. So this is our output page. I am going to enter the value. So I am going to click submit button. So the result will be displayed here. And next I want to retrieve which radio button I have selected. So to get it, initially you know that the radio buttons are mutually exclusive. So both the radio buttons should have the same name. So the property in a radio button called as checked, which will allow you to know which radio button is enabled. So to get the radio button, I have to use with variable r is equal to document dot get element by name, because here the both radio button have the same name. So I am going to give it D1. After getting the radio button, both the radio button have the same name. So both will be written back in the variable R. So R will be acting as an array which contain 2 radio button. So using the for loop, I am going to analyze which radio button is enabled. So for I is equal to 0, I less than R dot length, I plus plus. So I need to check whether the first radio button is checked or the second radio button is checked. So using the index value, I am going to check it. If this, because it is mutually exclusive, so anytime only one radio button is enabled. So document dot get element by ID, division tag, inner HTML plus equal to the gender value, whatever I have selected. I am going to display its value because already I have specified the value property, and after that I am going to add a break tag. So getting the result area, then the value whatever we retrieve from the radio button, whichever is enabled, that value take it and append along with it division tag elements. So now we have it. So I am going to click mail and click submit. So name is John and the gender is male. So next I need to check with the checkbox. So checkbox, I have 2 checkboxes, each having different ID, and checkbox also having a property called as checked. So I need to check which checkbox is enabled by the user. So to do that, you have to use with if document dot get element by ID C1 dot check. If the first one is checked, so that I need to store it. So I have to create an array to work with. So I am going to create an array. New array. So if this checkbox is checked, because here you can do more than one selection. So I am going to just store the value of the checkbox. So document.getElement by ID. That value I am going to store it in my array. So same thing I am going to repeat for the next checkbox. If the next checkbox is checked, and that will be stored in an array. And finally, the result needs to be written in the output screen. So document.getElement by ID and the division area inner HTML plus equal to the subjects. So subjects, and then I'm going to use with plus, and the array contain all the values, and after that I'm going to add a break tag. So now we'll just go and do the things. I'm going to select only web technology, submit button. So the subject's only web technology. Next time I'm going to go with machine learning. So machine learning alone selected. And now I'm going to do with the both selection. Click submit. So both the web technology and machine learning get retrieved and it will be displayed. And now we need to know how to select from the drop down. So the select will be a keyword or the tag which contain the ID value. There you have an option is UG and PG. So now we have to use with a variable select document dot get element by ID. This is S1 because I am going to select only one value from the drop down. So whatever value I selected, that will be displayed. So document dot get element by ID, the division area dot inner HTML plus equal to, and the level of the subject. So that I am going to store it with S. So now you know how to retrieve the value from the text box, how to retrieve the value from the radio button, how to retrieve the value from the checkbox, and finally how to retrieve the value from the drop down. So now we will just go here, select PG, submit. So we are getting, suppose we are trying to change it, UG, click submit. So we are getting the value. So this video is useful for you to know how to retrieve the values from various HTML elements through JavaScript and display it in the web page.